Hello and welcome. In this match I am in the tier 10 Japanese carrier, the Hakuryuu. This match is on the map Ocean and the enemy has one carrier, but it's a Lexington, so I have quite an advantage. However, because it's Ocean, this means teams just blob up and it is extremely difficult to usually do drops. So I started out by pulling up all of my planes, torpedo bombers first, fighters second, dive bombers third, and I went for a strike, hoping that I can do a decent strike without one of the cruisers interrupting me, and I could, which is very nice. Almost even sank the Iowa, so I'll just try to follow up with dive bombers now. And these fighters in the middle are so I can intercept enemy fighters, because they're definitely gonna try to interrupt at some point. I managed to hit all 12 on a battleship, which is very difficult, or rather rare. Maybe it would be more common if I actually tried to practice for it, which I probably should, but you know, it is what it is. The first strike is very important on this map, as after that enemies get clumped up and these cruiser and battleship borne fighters will be extremely powerful, not to mention all of the cruises will be using their skills, so it shall be very difficult to actually do anything about it. Anyways, I guess I couldn't quite follow up with my dive bombers because enemy fighters came to follow, and that Ataga seemed to have used his ability, so I lost quite a few dive bombers. Luckily my dive bombers are a bit faster than the Lexington fighters, I think, so they're not gonna exactly get slotted right away, but I can't exactly use them either. But maybe I can loop around and do a strike. I'm trying to focus on I'm trying to use my fighters to focus on killing the Lexington fighters instead of trying to save a mediocre dive bomber drop. Right now I think I did a bit of a mistake here. And I should have flown differently with my dive bombers to not bring the enemy fighters near my destroyers. That was a bit of a mistake, but since they have smoke, it's okay, relatively. I mean, they can just sit there and fire now. Okay, my torpedo bombers have cycled. They will be coming in soon. Since there's the Lexington fighters again, I just want to do a quick drop. I mean, at this point, these are kinda lost anyway, because look at these cruiser and battleship fighters. I can't do anything about those. I can fly around the Lexington fighters, but there's nothing I can do about the cruiser or battleship fighters, which I really don't like. But anyways, it is what it is. In this game I am pretty lucky in that regard, more or less, because the enemy doesn't clump up as much as they usually do, so I can do some strikes here and there. Anyways, this Colorado or New Orleans would be a nice target. Colorado not so much anymore since the HP is low, or that Montana actually. Main thing is to find targets that aren't too close to cruises. Although two Montanas right next to each other can be quite dangerous too.
Group 4, taking fire.
I'll try to do a drop here.
Group 4, target destroyed.
Kind of unfortunate,
Group 4,
but mostly okay.
Group 6 destroyed.
I managed to hit 6 of them, which is pretty good. This Kagero would have been also a nice drop target, but I didn't notice the Kagero before I had dropped, so that's a bit unfortunate. A Kagero would have definitely been a better target than a Montana. Also, it seems that our the enemy Lexington managed to do a torpedo drop into the area where the two destroyers were, and both of them died in one torpedo bomber drop. A Goering and the Shimakaze in one drop. I don't like how does that stuff happen? How do you both get killed by it? So since I won't be using these dive bombers for anything, since there's very little you can do with them, as I have essentially, I don't have any targets that would be good to use these against, just drop it on the first thing that's near, which is the Kagero. And I managed to chase her off too. And the fighters follow my dive bombers, which are empty, so they fly even faster, so there's little risk of them dying randomly. Unluckily, it seems that the fighters are coming for my torpedo bomber now, so I'll use my fighters to intercept, or try to anyway, and use these to maybe drop on North Carolina. It's been 8 minutes and only 3 ships have sunk, and 2 of them sank in one enemy torpedo bomber. 2-1 enemy torpedo bomber. Which is a bit crazy if you think about it. I don't think I have ever been that lucky. Anyways, I'm taking 2 of the torpedo bomber groups top, and the other one went bottom to pull the fighters over, but it seems I managed to intercept them nicely. The Montana is here, so dropping from moderate distance, I don't really want to go that close because the Montana has monstrous close range anti-air, and as you could see, all of my torpedo bombers died before they could drop. Like I said, monstrous close range anti-air. Actually, even long range they are very powerful, it's just that close range it's even more ridiculous. So the other 2 will go for this North Carolina.
Group 6, maintaining present course. Group 5, taking fire. Group 4, we're under attack. Group 2, target destroyed.
I kind of wish they made the fighters more difficult to use, that is the battleship and cruiser fighters, something like you had to actually select the target for them to attack or something like that. You know, so you could actually outplay the enemy. Right now those fighters are incredibly powerful, and it's all AI controlled, so player skill or players noticing doesn't have anything to do with it. It's just a one-click wonder. In that case, that would actually differentiate some people who use those fighters really well. I would actually like that. Then it would be less of a problem that you get these cruiser clump ups, because cruisers many people tend to not notice planes incoming and all that stuff, so you could try to trick them.
Enemy battleship destroyed.
Anyways, this match is going quite smoothly so far.
Group 6, returning. Reporting the position of a priority target.
When I mean select them, I mean like for the anti-air focus. Stuff like that.
Awaiting instructions. Group 5, ready for takeoff. Group 4, ready.
Anyways, our team is pretty spread out too, but luckily I have these fighters in between the enemy and our team, so he's less likely to do a rash attack straight away, which gives us quite an advantage, I think. Those fighters on the right side are a bit suspicious on the map, on the mini-map, but I mean, they are just fighters. I guess it's okay. I sent both fighters back because one is out of ammo and the other is very low, so I would rather they replenish the ammo before fighting. Already this game has been fairly good for me, although it does make me question what the hell my team's doing if I have 24 torpedo drops, torpedo hits at 12 minutes in, and the enemy only has lost 4 ships. It's like they aren't trying at all. Anyways, trying to do a drop from both sides, so at least one of them should hit from the side. And goodbye, Kagero. Although it's a bit surprising that one hit was all that was needed. Dive bombers at this point are pretty pointless because they don't do anything with these blobs, and it seems that the fighters were suspicious after all. They included torpedo bombers and dive bombers next to them. So getting up the fighters is priority now to defend my ship and focus on the torpedo bombers. Same with the fighters. Ignore the fighters for now because it's more important to get the torpedo bombers down so I don't take any unnecessary damage. And then the dive bombers. Actually, I don't need to kill the dive bombers. Just making them miss is good enough, so panic. Okay, it seems that the drop was done and they missed, so now I can focus on the fighters and use the carrier anti-air on top of that. That was a really good drop evasion, I think. Like, things worked out pretty nicely for me.
Group 7, standing by for instructions. Over.
Okay, well, now it's time to hit this Montana some more, but this time a bit further away, so my planes don't get annihilated immediately. On top of that, he's near the edge anyway, so I can't exactly drop close. Well, one of them should hit. And it was a flooding. That's actually surprising.
Group 8 taking fire. Group 8.
Yeah, this Lexington got a terrible matchup.
Group
I mean,
7, we're under
Lexington actually can do stuff here, but of course he isn't gonna carry nearly as hard as I am. It's just not really that possible. But I mean, it's not exactly like the matchup is completely horrible for him. It's definitely possible for him to do stuff, especially since he has so many fighters. And I mean, he did quite a bit, so I'll try using the torpedo bombers to clear some cruisers because, well, cruisers are more annoying to deal with in the long run for me, so getting rid of many of them is very good. Too bad somebody else took the attack out, but I would have definitely finished it. Also remember, if you didn't know about it, use your fighters to set queues. Click on a plane and then hold shift and click on another plane.
Group 8 ready.
It's really useful. I set my autopilot into the enemy cap zone as we don't have that much time, so might be a good idea to try to start wrapping things up. It seems somebody else took care of the Lexington, which is very good. I don't think I could have done it anytime soon. The fighters just kill some planes for, well, stat padding, I guess, or I don't know actually if you do get better experience from it. I hope you do, but I never actually checked, so I just do it anyway. I mean, why the hell not? It's not like I need the fighters for anything at this point anymore.
Group 7 ready for takeoff.
Hopefully we can wrap this up in the time given. I don't want another draw. I'm actually surprised I only got Confederate right now, since I already have 30 torpedo hits. This is an average of 5 per target. Technically it will be less because the Kagera was one of the targets, so... Okay, good. The battleship is on fire. You know, one thing I find a bit unfortunate. I think that when the game ends, the game gets into situations like it currently is, where it's so heavily in favor of us that even if we don't manage to cap in time, it should probably still give us the win, or something like that, because the game doesn't exactly encourage trying to go for the win. So I would expect, you know, not having to do everything to go for the win.
Group 7, we're under attack.
I'll try to I wanted to use this torpedo bomber group on the cruiser, but I figured, nah, what the hell, I'll just use it on the battleship. And the game ended. Well, luckily we still had like 1 or 2 minutes left, so it was entirely doable. And 11,400 experience. That's an amazing amount. And 3,800 base score, which is very, very good. This was an excellent match all around. This is a 230k damage too. They didn't even take damage, so I have no additional repair cost to pay, which is excellent. So anyways, if you enjoyed this video, then please subscribe, and thanks for watching.